Hi everybody, 313 Diesel Guy here, back with another video about ICPs and 7.3s. So, for about 2 months, I've been battling a intermittent stall and rough idle. And when I say rough idle, or rough running, I mean it's like if the ICP wasn't plugged in, kind of idling and run. But it didn't explain the stalling in my eyes. It reminded me of a CPS for the stalling. So about, it's been over a month actually. About 2 months ago, I think I posted a video on doing the CPS. Well, truck did it a couple more times since then, and then not yesterday, the day before, it's on my way to go get myself a pair of jeans because I need them, and all of a sudden my truck starts acting up really bad, stalling out. Every time I come to a stop sign or stoplight, it would just start and just die. So, and at this point in time, it throws a check engine light. Okay, this is good. Now I can get it out to my guys in Lapeer and have them scan it. And by the way, shout out to Night Shift Diesel and Mario and the guys. Incredible work, incredible people. Always there to help when I need them. Got nothing bad to say about them. So anyway, I get the truck out there. It's an hour and a half drive for me. I unplug the ICP sensor and it stops stalling. Go figure. So, now mind this, when I did the CPS a month and a half, 2 months ago, I also put another ICP sensor in it because I was throwing an ICP code. Now, what I should have done, instead of just throwing parts at it like I typically don't do, typically I go through and actually diagnose the problem. Saves you money in the long run. But it didn't matter. The sensor was under warranty, so it didn't cost me anything. So I got it out to Night Shift, where they hooked it up to their computer, and we went and beat on the truck for a few minutes with the ICP unplugged. ICP voltage showed exactly what we thought it would show unplugged. So we plugged it back in, cleared the code, truck idled fine, was running fine, but under load, ICP voltage was all over the place. And what I mean by that is when you go wide open throttle or accelerating, the ICP voltage should climb pretty consistently with the PSI. And when I say, pretty consistently, it should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 volts kind of thing. My voltage was extremely erratic. And what I mean by that, it was going 1, 3, 6, 2, 4, 7. It was not consistent. It was not. So that right there told me, and it would get worse as I would hit bumps. So that told me right there that I had a wiring problem. So, one of my first videos I ever did, back, coming up on 2 years ago now, damn, I've had the truck that long, was the ICP sensor. And, what brand to go with. Always go with a dealer part or get it from International. Never buy the AutoZone, Advanced, any of those ones. Never buy those sensors. These trucks don't like them. Again, those sensors tend to be what are called biased. They're usually like a half a ohm off or something that throws everything out of whack. So, anyway, I got the truck home. Truck ran fine all the way home because we cleared the codes. And I'm wondering if the pigtail that when I did the ICP sensor, I'm wondering if the pigtail isn't being an issue again. So with the truck running, I checked my connections. Not a problem. Touched each wire individually, squoze it, move it, Didn't do anything, didn't change anything. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The minute I touched the plug, where it actually plugs into the ICP sensor, it went from idling nice and smooth to, designated limp mode for, as like if the ICP failed. Alright, that's leading me in a nice direction now. I unplug it, doesn't change the idle, plug it back in, shut the truck off, let it sit for a few minutes, start the truck back up, check engine light is off again, idling fine, go back under the hood, again, barely touch the plug. Truck starts running for shit again. I'm like, okay, so let's go for 3 out of 5 here. Unplugged it, plugged it back in, shut the truck off, let it sit again for another 3 to 5 minutes. Again, as I shut it off, check engine light was on and everything else. Started it back up, check engine light was off, truck running smoothly. By the way, sorry for the jiggling here. The road I'm going down is not the smoothest, so I apologize for that. I'm holding the phone in my hand because I have not got far enough on YouTube where I can get a GoPro and mount it to my dash. Just joking, guys. Anyway, so back to the plug here. So again, I start the truck up, check engine light is cleared, truck is running smoothly, touch the plug a third time, and sure enough, 3 out of 5, all 3 times, truck started running for shit, check engine light comes on, disconnect the ICP sensor, doesn't change anything, shut the truck off. So now I know I need to look at the plug. So I shut the truck down, disconnect the batteries, and on the back side of that plug, there's a little rubber boot that actually sinks down into the plug. I pulled that, wanted to check inside the plug itself, the back side, make sure that the wires were intact, that nothing was, contacting itself and creating a short. The wires were clean, they were clear, they weren't touching nothing. So I pushed the rubber boot back in, and I flipped it over. Now it's a 3-pin setup. 2 pins on top, 1 pin bottom dead center. And I'm looking, and they look a little, I guess, loose. And what I mean by that is 2 pins, the 2 top ones in the straight line, were nice and square and even. The center mid or the center bottom one looked like it was oval. So I took a small screwdriver, flattened it, or closed it up a little bit, and plugged it back in. It was a little tighter. All right, cool. So I started the truck back up, touched the plug again. Sure enough, went back into limp mode. All right, so now I need to check the actual sensor itself. Shut the truck down, disconnect the batteries again, pull the ICP plug. Now, this was the weird part. The pigtail is a dormant pigtail. Again, didn't go by my own words on that one. Should have got the Ford one, but it's a dormant. The pigtail itself, where it plugs into the ICP, the 3 connectors, or the 3 individual connectors on the one plug, are square. Okay? And what I mean by square is they're big enough where I could take a large, like one of the big paper clips, and stick it in each hole and move it around and have plenty of room. Now, if you look at the ICP sensor itself, they're flat pins. So you tell me how a flat slotted pin fits correctly in a square box sleeve on a plug? It doesn't. So, squished them flat. Put the plug back on. I can touch the plug, I can try and move the plug doesn't move, and guess what? The truck doesn't go into limp mode. So, did some homework last night and this morning. Went to AutoZone, I looked at their ICP pigtail, and it looks completely different. And what I mean by that is, instead of it being 3 square holes, it's 3 flat pin holes. Go figure. Went to the dealership, looked at the Ford OE one. Again, it is not 3 square holes. It is 3 flat pin slide-on tab holes. So, once again, buy Ford OE parts for Powerstroke diesels. There's been a problem where people are getting the exact same symptoms I've had, that I've been having. Rough idle, sudden loss of power, come to a stoplight, truck stalls out. Most people haven't figured it out, and I was kind of panicking when my truck was doing this, and nobody could figure it out. Everybody sits there and replaces the pigtail. They replace the ICP sensor. They replace the IPR. They replace the CPS, thinking, okay, it's got to be one of these things. You know what? Check to make sure the plug design is the same plug design that is on the ICP. Is it, on the ICP itself? Is it a square pin or is it a flat pin? Because if you stick a flat pin in a square hole, we both know it's only going to make contact on 2 very, very, very thin sides. So, again, same issue that a lot of people have been having, that nobody has been nobody has figured out. And me, out of luck, pretty sure I just figured it out. So that's my update. That's again, hopefully this helps somebody out there having the rough idle and the intermittent stalling problem, and hopefully this will get another 7.3 back on the road and running right. So, because this particular problem that I had, that I've read up on, had people scared to drive their trucks and selling their trucks because they couldn't figure out what was wrong. And hopefully this video will stop somebody from selling another truck that they love so much because they can't figure it out. Hopefully this will fix their problem. So again, look at the plug itself on the pigtail, and then look at the ICP sensor. If it's flat pin to flat pin, still make sure they're tight. If it's box open to flat pin, that's not right. Anyway, guys, that's it for the day. So yeah. Anyway, 7-3 love, y'all. God bless.